I'm in Salad and I saw Too Fast, Too Furious. It is directed by John Singleton. I just reviewed the first The Fast and the Furious. So if you haven't seen that review, go check this out. So if you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. The movie starts, we're seeing a street race in progress. Oh no, there's not enough drivers. We gotta call up a guy. Who's the guy? Who's the fourth guy for the street race? And I like how all of these cars are color-coded just like the first one. Instead of there being like a blue car, there seems to be a pink, an orange, and a yellow car. And then the fourth car that comes is white and has like light blue. And also there's light blue underneath the car, which is cool. There's light blue like markings on the side of the car, which is cool. And it's revealed to be Brian. And I'm like, oh man, Brian, I already know you chose those colors because it was Jesse's colors last movie. Jesse died last movie. And what is Brian up to now? Well, he's just willing to be in a street race. And he goes very fast. He's so fast that I love this race, okay, because there's a battle between red and pink car, and they're battling it out like cars do in like a racetrack. And then what's happening is we have yellow car is just using Nas the entire time to keep ahead of Brian. And then there's one final obstacle. There's a bridge, and the bridge goes up because it's one of those like upper bridges. What's that bridge called? I don't know. Please put it. Well, what's the bridge called here? So the bridge goes up, and I'm like, oh no, which car is gonna go up? Who's gonna go first? And then Brian uses all of his Nas and flies over the yellow car and lands in front of the yellow car. The yellow car crashes. The pink car tries to go over the bridge, has some damage, but she's ultimately fine. So Brian's first place in this pink car is second place. And I'm like, oh man, Brian, his car is left untouched. Dude, this is so cool. All right, and then Brian gets all the cash, and then a bunch of cops come, and Brian tries to outmaneuver the cops, which is, honestly, I was like, wait, aren't you a cop at this point? Because at this point, no details have been mentioned of Brian's cop status, so I'm a little confused. But then he gets arrested by the cops, and then we get to know some more information about what Brian is up to these days. He quit copping around, and I'm like, yo, that's pretty rad, honestly. But mostly because you moved to Miami, which is a pretty cool state. Like in Miami, for example, it's nice and warm, versus here, it's literally snowing. It's not sticking, which is the sad part. So Brian, being caught, has to deal with the FBI, and they want to get some dudes. They want to have Brian go undercover yet again. I'm like, oh man, is this going to be the first movie? That was my thought, right? But this is a subversion from the first movie already, because in the first movie, Brian does not get caught by the cops because he's a cop. But in this movie, he has already been caught. So I'm like, okay, so this is already different from the first movie. I'm kind of excited to see where this goes. But then we see Brian is like, okay, let me call up a guy who knows more about racing than this little twerp here. And Brian proves that this guy is a little twerp. I feel like, hey, I'm going to read the cup, and this guy's going to go blank. He doesn't know nothing. He's got air in his head. He's an airhead. He might as well be the candy at this point, but he's not a candy man. He's a cop man. I don't even know why he's here. So Brian goes to Barstow to recruit a guy named Roman who does not like him, who is at a car derby. The guy from like calm police interrogation room to immediate car collision jumped me out of like the calmness of the situation, which is it was a great cut, by the way. I was like, what? Oh, okay, I'm here now. And then, what's great about this scene is that he lives at the Derby, which I find to be pretty cool, but he also should consider Brian's offer. He's kind of like, nah, I don't think I want to do that. But then very quickly he's like, okay, I'm down. As long as I get off, which is fine. I completely get that. This movie, did I mention, is fast-paced? It's called Too Fast, Too Furious. It is so furious, man. Oh my goodness. So, you know, the furiousness continues with now they're on a mission to go talk to this guy. Who's the guy that the FBI are trying to infiltrate? Well, there's a dude who has a lot of things. He's a guy. He's a bad guy. This bad guy has so many drugs. He's a drug lord, and he's not good. So you gotta take him down. That makes sense. You gotta stop the crime. If there's a lot of rampant crime, this is Florida, so Miami seems like a good base for a drug lord. So, you know, the FBI knows what's up, and they need some guys, and they gave them some cool cars, and then these two guys take them cool cars, and they're like, okay, hello, I'm here to street race. And they're like trying to get closer and closer to this drug lord man using street races. And I'm like, that's fine. I don't know anything about anything, so this movie being incredibly ridiculous is amazing. I'm just loving the fast-paced nature of it, plus the amount of car rooms, the car gear shifts. There's a lot of car gear shifts. Oh my goodness, there is. And also, I like all the car noises. When there's a high car volume, high car length, high car scene, and it's very long. So there's a race, for example, because they're trying to get rid of these cars. These cars have a GPS installed. You know, the ones that the police gave them have a GPS. Yeah, that makes sense. They're trying to, the big old drug lord is trying to test these boys, right? And so they gotta go on a mission. They gotta break a Lamborghini's window. So they get the item, and they break it back, and it just turns out to be a cigar. And I'm like, whoa, this must be one cool cigar. Also, this is the first time I've ever seen a cigar cutter used. I was like, wait, what is a cigar cutter? Okay, it's to cut the circle end. That makes a lot of sense now. Okay. And Roman really wants a cigar cutter, which is cool. Cigar cutters are pretty cool, honestly. But he keeps trying to steal the cigar cutter. And he keeps trying to steal the cigar cutter throughout the rest of the movie, which I find to be hilarious. So now, being the drug lord's new henchmen, they witness at a nightclub this guy being tortured. It's the most brutal scene I've ever seen, ever. Okay, so you have a bucket, and you have a rat underneath the bucket on this dude's bare skin, and you take a blowtorch, and you torch the bucket, and the rat just wants to go down and scratch at you, and that's how you get information. And I thought that was terrifying. I was like, oh no, do not mess with this guy. This guy is a bad dude. They now are trying to steal money from this guy. There's a few close calls with the other henchmen of the drug lords. They have to ride with Brian and Roman in their respective cars, and they go vroom. I really like how they install ejection seats. They go eject on command, and it's hilarious when we see Roman after they evade yet another round of cops. Roman hits the ejection button. It goes ejectocito. And then the guy just goes flying. I'm like, oh my god, is that henchman okay? Is he alive? I really hope he's alive. But then, you know, Brian's henchman side guy is like telling him to go another way to his boatyard. And then he goes to his boatyard. And then the FBI was going to try to get this guy, to get the drug lord, at these airports that he gave information to the side chick, who is also undercover. But, you know, this is a diversion. The drug lord knew all along, but luckily Brian called Roman to come. Roman comes at the optimal moment, which is good. I'm glad he did. And there's an epic moment of we're having the drug lord plus the side chick just on the yacht. They're just escaping the boat via boat. They're escaping via boat, which is pretty cool. I like the boat, it's really big. But it's no match for Brian, who's going top speed, and then he goes off a ramp and he lands on top of the yacht. I love this. This is so cool. The camera angles are awesome, and the way that they land on the yacht is awesome. They hit their head. Where are the airbags? I don't see any airbags. Luckily, they were wearing seatbelts. Brian is kind of dazed. Roman is kind of dazed. He broke his arm. Not good. And it's hilarious. They got the guy. They got him. The police are going to arrest him now. Good. Good work on them all. Also, epic that Roman has stolen some money. Sweet justice. And now they can have their own garage, as Brian says, as a goal at the end of the movie. I'm like, this is so cool. I'm glad that this movie has ended in such a way that I'm like, I'm so satisfied with Roman and Brian's friendship. The friendship has rekindled after Roman heard that Brian left a cop because he lets a guy go. He let Dom go in the previous movie. And I like how the continuity continues with that. Man, the colors are nice and flashy and colorful. And did I say colorful? Because it is so fast. It is so fast, so furious. I really like this movie. Do I think it's better than the first one? I do miss Dom, but I also really like Roman as well. I think because of the movie's pacing is like faster, because it's already established some things about the series in the previous movie, and this movie has been topped, which is great because there was no car landing on a yacht in the previous movie. So this movie has definitely one-upped the previous movie. You can really see how Brian has taken some personality traits from Roman, and the stare eye thing that he did with the chick. And Roman's like, yeah, he got it from me. And so like just the general cool things that Brian does, Roman has done since they've grown up together, which makes sense. I really like that they've rekindled their friendship though. Brian and Roman are now friends yet again. Roman trusts Brian. I really like the development on this relationship. I don't know what I would have expected if we had another movie of Brian and Dom. So at my first initial, wait, where's Dom? I really like the choice of focusing on Brian and Roman's relationship in the movie. And for that, I gotta give this movie a solid, 7.8 out of 10. If you like this review, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know. The ultimate goal of this channel is for me to become an expert movie reviewer, so if I haven't reviewed it on the channel, there's a chance I haven't even seen it at all. If you'd like to request a movie in the comments below, you can do that, or you can fast track a movie review request. Patreon.com/ASEPresents, $20 a month for one movie per 1 month, or $3 a month for 250 vlogs on patreon.com/ASEPresents. Also, how to draw the Pokemon. I'm doing 151 for this year. Will be posted early at patreon.com/ASEPresents. And I want to wait to review Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift until I'm in Tokyo to review that. So if you want to help me review that in Tokyo, you can go to my Fansly, it's free to follow, or the other links in the link tree. It really helps with the daily grindiness of all these daily movie reviews, and I can travel to more pretty places to do movie reviews in. So it really helps out. And until next time, I'm Mint Salad Sauce. See you later, my salad croutons and bacon bits. It's really cold. Do a cold dance. I'm very fast. I'm going very fast and very furious. Too fast, too furious. But the 4th review is coming out very soon. Fast and Furious 4 coming out soon. Yeah.